Good afternoon, Good Shepherd. It's Wednesday, September 30th, and I'm here to talk today mostly about our regathering possibility this coming Sunday. You've already received one communication from us about regathering, and I urge you to go back and take a look at that. It came out towards the end of last week. And there's also information on the website. If you go to gshep.org, you'll see a button there for outdoor worship. So what I really want to talk about today, though, is not so much all of the stuff having to do with the outdoor gathering, but more about how we will be doing communion. And there will be a mailing that will go out, an email that will go out later today that will cover maybe in greater detail some of the things that I am going to say today. But it's an exciting time. Many of us will be able to see one another for the first time, even if we're masked, and to be back at the church outside and to receive communion. So I really want to just sort of talk about that reception piece. There will be three ways that people can receive communion. The first one will be to come on a Sunday at 11:30 and to participate in the service. The second would be to do a drive-by later in the afternoon to pick up the wafer, the host, and a prayer card with a couple of prayers to say with that. And the third way, and this is really in unusual circumstances, would be to have the host delivered to you. And I want to go through those three ways in a little bit more detail here. So for the 11:30 service, please sign up. You only need to, you need to let us know how many people there will be there. But we will, when you come in, we will escort you to a place to sit. You and your family, whoever is with you, will have one sort of 8x8 square that you can locate in. Please bring a chair, an umbrella if you're sun sensitive. So asking you again to be here 15-20 minutes early so that we can get all of those things taken care of. Make sure that you socially distance as you're arriving. The service will proceed very much like a normal Sunday morning service, although it will be abbreviated. It will be shorter. We won't do all of the lessons. We won't have any, there won't be as much music, and certainly there will not be any congregational singing. You will be masked the whole time, with one exception. We'll get to that in a moment. And so, like I say, the service will proceed as normal. What will happen at the communion time is we will have two tables set up on either side of the altar, a little further down front. And we will invite you to come up. You choose the table that's closest to you. Come up one person per what we're calling family unit. So if there are four of you, only one person will come up. The host will be in prepackaged envelopes, and you will just take the number of envelopes for the number of people in your party. And then go back to your seat. So while one person is coming up and going back, we'll wait until that person gets back to their seat, and then another person can come up. It shouldn't take all that long, given the fact that it's only one person per party, and we'll have two stations. There will be hand sanitizer, so please, quickly use some hand sanitizer before you pick up your envelopes. They'll be in a little basket, kind of like the sugar sweetener packets. So there's a chance that you might touch another envelope that will not be yours. That's why we're asking you to use hand sanitizer before you pick up your envelopes. Go back to your seat. And once you are back at your seat, then you can open the envelope and remove your mask and consume the host. And then the mask goes back up. So that's really how that process will work for taking communion at the service there on Sunday morning. We ask then that when you leave at the end of the service that you do so maintaining that social distancing. It's not time for coffee hour. Just please go to your cars. Or if you're walking in walking distance, just please return. Use Anglican decorum and be sure that you're taking care of everyone, yourself, your family, but also those around you. Keep those masks on. So the second way, again, and we need you to reserve this because we only want to consume the number, I only want to consecrate the number of hosts that we will use for the week. We're not setting up a reserved sacrament time. That's not what we have been given authorization from the Office of the Bishop to do. These are different times, and so we are abiding by slightly different rules. So make a reservation. Let us know that you will be coming by to pick up the host, again, so that we consecrate the right number. In general, that will mean that you will drive into the church between 2 and 3 on a Sunday afternoon. There will be a Eucharistic minister who will not hand, but will present the hosts to you in a contactless manner. And it will look like we are serving you from afar. And you will take them. There will be a card, a prayer card, so that you can, if you take the host home, that you can use that prayer before you receive. And then there will be a prayer on the opposite side of the prayer card that will be a prayer for the community, prayer for the Good Shepherd community, recognizing that even though you will be doing this on your own, the fact that you are taking the host that represents the body of Christ, that we all, as the body of Christ, are doing this together, and that we want to pray for the health of our community. Not only the physical health, that we are able to stay free from the coronavirus, but also our communal health as the body of Christ as we continue to work our way through this pandemic. So again, you would come and receive that, receive the host, and then you would take it home, or you could, if there's no one waiting and you would like to have a prayer with the Eucharistic visitor, you could do it right there. The exception, and I want to stress this, the exception is this coming Sunday, October 4. As you know, or you should know, we will be doing the blessing of the animals at Willow Creek Park Shelter. And we've decided that if you're going to drive to the church, you could drive to the shelter and receive it. We will make sure that you are able to receive it there. Whether we'll be able to do it drive-by, I'm not sure if there's going to be places where there's no parking, but you will be able to find us, and we will have you have something set up so that you'll be able to find that, and you could walk up and receive in somewhat the same way that you would receive on a Sunday morning from a table and a basket in the table. But that's only this Sunday. We don't have a lot of volunteers. I'll get to that in a minute. And so since many of them will be at the blessing of the animals, you might be at the blessing of the animals, we wanted to make that possible at that site only. But from next Sunday going forward, the drive-bys will be at the church under the portico. Drive-by, if you came for Stephen's farewell, it will be set up similarly to Stephen's farewell. And then the last way to receive communion, and again, this is really special circumstances. If you are unable, for whatever reason, to drive to the church, if you're not going to be here on a Sunday morning at 11:30, and if you're unable to drive to the church and you would still like to receive communion, let us know that too. And we will set you up with a Eucharistic visitor who will bring that communion, that wafer, to you. This is more along the lines of what we have done when we have sent out the lay Eucharistic ministers at the end of the service. They are taking them to people who are shut in or who are in a hospital or something like that. The language that we use is, we are not Grubhub. We are not delivery on demand. This is really under special circumstances. We hope that you would be able to either attend that 11:30 service or that you would be able to drive by and pick up your wafer. But if neither of those options work for you, please note on the reservation form, again, we have to consecrate the right number of wafers. Note on the reservation form that you are looking to have it delivered, and we will make that happen over the course of the week, whether it's that day or sometime else during the week. Two other notes on the communion side. One is that all of the hosts that we consecrate will be gluten-free. That way we don't have to worry about how we keep them separate from the gluten wafers, both in terms of distribution and in terms of delivery. So all of the hosts will be gluten-free. There will be no wine made available to anyone, whether they are here in person or in DriveBy or in the delivery mode. Wine will be consecrated because it needs to be according to the sort of the theology of the bread and wine, but there will be no wine consumed by anybody other than me for that service or over the course of the week. These are odd times, and I know that this feels very, very different, feeling different for all of us. And so I beg your forbearance in these times until we can regather and we can do something else. We may be doing communion under one kind only for quite some time. For some of you who grew up Roman Catholic, this is not a big change. For some of the rest of you, it is, and I understand that. But we have to do what we can for the health of the community. And those are some of the just some of the changes that we have to make. The last thing really that I want to say is right now we can only do one. We only have personnel to do one drive-by. We do not have a lot of folks who have stepped up for whatever reason. And I don't mean to lay that out there in any kind of guilt-inducing way. We're working with a limited number, a reduced number of volunteers for both working the Sunday morning service and help in terms of helping set up. So if you can help set up the Sunday morning service, that would be great. Let me know, or just let me know, and I can put you in touch with the people who are coordinating that. Similarly, if you want to volunteer to help staff a drive-by, please let me know, and I can put you in touch with the right people to help make that happen. But right now we are operating under a severely reduced volunteer corps. As most of you would probably know, that a lot of our volunteers are in that vulnerable population, and we do not want to make demands upon them beyond what they are comfortable with. And so until we have a lot more volunteers step up, we are starting as small as we can, and we trust that you will be able to help us maintain that as long as we can. So please read the letter that will come out later today. Go back and read the letter that went out last week, or go to the website where you sign up. Make sure that we know that you are coming so that we have enough hosts consecrated. We do not want to dispose of these at the end of the week, which is what we've been asked to do. Again, we are not reserving sacrament as we have in the past. This is a different situation. So blessings, folks. I look forward to seeing you soon, whether it's the Zoom service. Let me say again, the Zoom service at 9 o'clock will still be held. And the Sunday morning faith forum will still be held. So you're welcome to go to one or both of those and then come to the Sunday morning service, or if you just want to come to the 11:30 service, you're welcome to do that. But again, I look forward to seeing you at one of those this coming weekend. Or at the Blessing of the Animals, certainly this week. Bring Fido and Fluffy, and I'm looking forward to seeing the critters just as much as I'm looking forward to seeing you. Blessings to you all, my friends. Look forward to seeing you soon.